Yo, what up, gamers? Today we're going to be spectating Viper's Jinx. Going to be playing Jinx into Karthus, Thresh into a Mumu. Unfortunately, he is actually not running MR, so he's going to be running armor against Karthus, which is not ideal. Let's see how he manages to deal with that in the lane. Also going to actually be facing, interestingly enough, BR Lord Semi. That guy is a Brazilian Rammus one-trick who plays on the US from Brazil with 200 ping. This guy's reached Challenger on the US though with 200 ping, which is pretty impressive. The guy's a monster in Rammus, so will be interesting to see how Viper manages to deal with that. Okay, so gets into lane here, starts shoving. Should have the push advantage against the enemy ball in here because it's gonna be Thresh against the Mumu, range advantage. Okay, Thresh finds an engage here, however, maybe not the engage they wanted, but he's gonna be putting back a lot of damage onto a Mumu there. Then eventually switching on to Karthus once Karthus oversteps a little bit, trying to finish off the Thresh. Overall, actually probably going to be a better trade for the red side ball in here, just because they got more damage onto the enemy Karthus. Now going to be able to put out a lot of poke into Mumu here too. Immediately going to start looking for the shove here. He wants to probably remove as many minions from the blue side here as possible, so that there's less minion cover for the enemy ball in here, and Thresh can hopefully land some hooks, which will probably not be kills if they're under turret, but it will be a lot of harass. Okay, that one's gonna miss, but okay, very clean play from Thresh there. Ooh, Viper should have just kept focusing the Karthus there. Switches onto a Mumu for one auto attack, but we'll finish off the Karthus eventually anyway. Could have definitely saved himself some HP though and killed Karthus a little bit faster had he not initially just switched onto Mumu there, but that's fine. Actually, interestingly, oh, okay. Okay, has to flash the Mumu Q there, but we'll survive. Also, interesting that he started Doran's Blade there. He is facing engaged support, but at the same time, with Karthus, I would say probably they're going to be not really able to just one-shot you in lane, so the longsword 3 potion star would have been perfectly fine here. But let's go for the Doran's Blade instead. Has seemed to work out for him anyway. He does survive that all in. Able to pick up a kill. Now going to be able to shove out this lane. Hopefully, Karthus reappearing in this matchup should not influence it. Actually, not going to be able to shove out this lane fully, unfortunately. Okay, looks like he's... Okay, going to step forwards here. Try and punish the Karthus for freezing this. Putting out a lot of damage, but runs out of mana. Can't actually use rockets anymore. I believe we see... Yeah, we see a Mumu on mid lane. So then they're perfectly safe here. Karthus is currently low HP. I think they could try and go for a... No, yeah, okay. So they could have tried to go for a dive there onto the Karthus. But we see that the enemy team, after finishing the fight on mid lane, immediately starts moving bot. So they're going to be able to get a really fast collapse there on the bot lane if they choose to dive. So not going to go for that dive, just going to back off immediately. Spend all that gold that Viper had built up, so gonna grab the Berserker's Greaves. Makes a lot of sense in this matchup, I guess. So it'll help him dodge the Karthus Qs. It helps tremendously with dodging Karthus Qs, so gonna be huge there. Helps him dodge potentially the Mumu Q. Hopefully we'll be able to escape Rammus in some situations should they get ganked. Obviously Rammus being so fast, Mumu to escape him is really important since you don't have a dash as Jinx. So gonna start thinning out this wave. I don't know if he... Yeah, okay, doesn't want to just break the freeze entirely, but does want to thin it out a bit, make sure it doesn't crash under his turret. I don't think he also... I also think he doesn't want the full freeze. I think he's just gonna eventually go into slow push, but we'll see. Okay, currently debating moving over to that fight. I think he's decided against it now though. Okay, yeah, seems that fight didn't break out, so... Oh, Thresh getting caught out now though. Yeah, I think Jinx just decides that not much he can do. Okay, does move over hesitantly though, but... Okay, does not get hit by the Rammus taunt, we'll be fine there. Ooh. Cut out by the Mumu Q? That's fine. Forces out to the Mumu Ignite, but won't be a kill for them. Currently, ooh, getting dived by Rammus. At least he wants to dive, but these Galleys seem to back him up. Okay, Lee getting burst down really hard, but not gonna fall. Jinx just chilling here, trying to get her farm. Setting up the minions beautifully to loss at the mall. Should probably... Yeah, we see Rammus on mid lane, so this should be a pretty free shot for them. Enemy bottom was definitely not in a position to just be able to engage here and win. Yeah, just gonna shove that out and just gonna immediately go for the back. No point trying to go for the plating here. As low as the plating seems like it is, I mean it is low, but it's just not worth the time going over there, because if you go for that plating, then you need to back off, and potentially maybe a move more arrives here with like Mobies or something and just shows up and cancels your back. Even if that doesn't happen, you still lose quite a bit of farm, usually. I don't know why they haven't arrived in the lane yet. Yeah, they should have been in the lane way faster than this. They should have been shoving way faster, but anyway. For staying for that plating, you end up missing a lot of farm. In terms of gold, you still do end up ahead compared to missing out on some farm, unless they manage to crash the entire wave on the turret, which can happen, but wouldn't happen on this kind of wave. But missing the XP from the minions is also pretty big, so it's usually just not worth it. You only go for the plating if you have plenty of time to grab that. And then back off and still arrive in lane in time. Okay, fight breaks out here. Gonna play that really cleanly, exhausting the Karthus cleanse. Karthus... Yeah, okay, dude, I was wondering... Apparently Karthus ults don't show up in Spectator client. That's really fucked up, but oh well. Okay, so... Karthus ults there, but not able to pick up the kill. By Jinx only having armor and no MR here. So we're gonna be able to hopefully shove out another wave here. Only concern is potential Moo being in a brush, but it's very unlikely. I don't think he's gonna be there. There's plenty of vision to keep him safe from... Well, not exactly safe from Rammus, but hopefully Rammus won't show up. Amumu gonna go for the freeze here. Oh shit. Yeah, see what I mean? Rammus can just be on you so fast. Does it actually taunt Jinx though? Interestingly. Maybe he didn't expect the flash. Yeah, he was taking sort of a gamble there by shoving that wave, just assuming that hopefully Rammus won't just show up through here and just get on his ass real quick. He moves so fast that if he does gank you, you can't really avoid that, but just choosing to shove that and hope it works out, and in the long run it does sort of work out, despite his greedy recall positioning. Okay, so grabs a Noon Quiver and a Longsword. Pretty good spot right now in bot lane. Okay, Amumu goes for the dive here. Or is it the Thresh Flash? He should already use traps, I think, so... Not quite able to trap the Amumu in the turret. Able to put out a lot of damage back though, at least. Only trying to pressure the Karthus here, but doesn't want to walk too far forwards. Gotta be careful about the Rammus. I think he must have probably seen Rammus somewhere on the map. Because I would be really worried about Rammus potentially being in one of these brushes. That would have been a free ass gank. I think he must already know Rammus's positioning. I don't pay that much attention, so if Rammus did show himself on the map, I do not know. Okay. Rush, yeah, gonna look the back here. It's a shame Gromp isn't up here, or Jinx could just do this while she's waiting for the spotlight wave to crash in here. Gromp at the moment is just super busted for red side ADC, because of the fact that you can just like do it so quickly, like compared to golems, it just dies so fast, especially after Noon Quiver, and it recovers that huge burst of heal and mana that you get from last hitting it is just so massive. You actually don't really lose HP for doing it at almost any stage of the game. So it's a huge source of free gold and XP for bot lane. If you just can't get last hit any minions on your lane, or if you've already pushed in the enemy, the wave under the enemy turret. Only downside is you deny some farm from your jungler in the process, but like it's literally a heal. Sometimes it's just worth it to take it as bot lane just to... Ooh, okay, 5 bricks out here. Just staying outside of the Momo range there, so it doesn't even have to use the cleanse, which is currently not up anyway. So put out all that damage, cleanly take down the Momo there. Now I'm gonna start shoving this wave. Still don't know where Rammus is, but if they know where Rammus is, they could potentially look for a dive into Karthus here. Karthus, okay, it looks like he's already based, so it's just gonna be some free platings here. This point is double plating. And as you can see, he's got plenty of time to catch that plating. Oh, actually, gonna look for the next wave as well, I guess. Would be really troll if he... Ooh, actually, 3 platings. Good shit. Yeah, would be really troll if he just suddenly backs now. But if he has time to shove this wave, then that's perfect. So that's just some math. 480 gold just from platings alone. Then gets another extra wave, so hugely worth here. Apparently gets Karthus ulted again there. Just invisible Karthus ult as usual. Okay, Karthus gonna be looking for the freeze. This is oh, okay, not actually gonna freeze. This is actually one risk though of doing what he did. Thing for the triple plating and also going for that next wave. Is gives the enemy bot lane plenty of time to arrive. If a Mumu had been there, a Mumu would have just easily been able to tank that entire wave and just freeze it. Then you're forced into the awkward position where you can't really stop them from freezing because you haven't backed yet. You're low on mana, maybe low on HP. You lose the turret here, unfortunately. Yeah, thankfully not really punished for that this time. However, it does end up losing the turret just to the Random Mass Herald. Ooh, gets engaged on there. He knows a Mumu doesn't have ult, so he doesn't need to save the cleanse for the ult. Just immediately cleanses to avoid as much damage as possible. Very nice, able to pick up the Karthus there. Do note also that he's got a Kraken Slayer right now, so he's really strong right now. Already got his mythic. I mean, not a particularly early stage of the game, but I mean, he's sitting at 4 kills, about 9 CS per minute. He's really strong right now. Definitely going to be a huge threat against the Rammus and whoever else. Rammus is also really ahead as well, though. He's got 4 kills. He's currently sitting on his mythic and another armor item, or another armor component on top of that. Okay. Doesn't have cleanse this time, so probably just gonna go down here. Yeah, gets taunted up, gets taken down. Good clash from the enemy team there. Pretty much no escape for the Jinx there. Wanted to go for that extra plating. I think he did get that at least, but not really worth it in the end. Wasn't really expecting them to be able to engage on him so easily there. Okay, so actually going for the Lost Wisp per second item here. That makes a lot of sense. Probably what you should always do against Rammus, regardless of how much armor the rest of his team does have. I'm gonna grab the lantern there. Yeah, but Rammus stacks so much armor and also gets so much armor from his W that you're just gonna deal 0 damage to that guy if you don't build Lord Dominic's second item. You're still gonna take still not necessarily always gonna be worth to hit Rammus during his W because you take so much damage from it. But in positions where you don't really care about losing all that HP, definitely going to be dealing a lot more damage with Lord Dominic's than you would with any other item there. Okay, so we're just going to be able to push up here. Hopefully finish off the turret. Okay, getting pounced on by the Rammus there, but looking to try and kill him now. This is where the Lost Whisper is really coming in clutch. Yeah, I'm going to be able to pick up that kill purely because of the Lost Whisper, I think. Usually Lost Whisper as a component is not that amazing. However, with the Rammus having the massive amount of armor that he does, that was probably massively amplifying his damage compared to what any other component would have been doing. So I'm going to pick up that kill just on the very last auto. Going to be a very close kill there. Okay, trying to slow the Mumu there with his W, so Mumu hopefully gets slowed and is not able to land another Q, but he misses, so Mumu is able to eventually get in range for another Q. Eventually will lead to the Jinx's death there, unfortunately. However, he is able to now grab the Lord Dominic, so definitely going to be a huge threat onto Rammus from now on. At least as much as an ADC can be. So let's skip forwards here. Going for the triple dagger. I'm guessing that's probably going to be building into Runaan's Hurricane. I can't really imagine anything else that would build out a triple dagger there. So 2 daggers going towards the build towards the Runaans, 1 dagger going towards the Zeal. So interestingly, he could have done just the Quick Look and the dagger here, so he's really valuing the attack speed here for some reason. Maybe his logic could be that because the Rammus is, you know, so tanky, regardless of him having Lord Dominic's. Oh, okay, hang on. Yeah, okay. So regardless of Rammus having the Lord Dominic's for the Rammus armor. Rammus is still really tanky, and a lot of the damage that you deal to him is going to be through those Kraken Slayer procs. The more attack that you got, the more Kraken Slayer procs you'll hit. So that could be wise going for that. Otherwise, I mean, daggers just make your attack speed feel really smooth, right? You have some really small autos with the more attack speed you got, so could just be he really likes that. You're gonna push the third here. He's got Thresh to back him up. Got the Lantern. Gonna be a little bit under risk here, but okay. Clean Thresh Flay, denying the Amumu engage. Amumu had ult, so do note though the Viper does have cleanse up, so it wouldn't have been the end of the world for him if he did get Amumu ult there. It gives him a lot of room to play aggressively and bait out a fight. Yeah, Amumu will ult here, and it's gonna bait a fight where it's not necessarily gonna go well for them because the Jinx had the cleanse to avoid that. Ooh, also gonna get Lanterned out there, perfect. Huge. Gonna be a really fast Darius there though. And the Viper currently low on mana. Alright, nice. Able to pick up a kill there, avenging the Malzahar. Which will then lead to the Darius death as well. Looking for the Rammus here, but I imagine he'll be able to escape pretty cleanly. Yes, he will. Ooh. Okay, gonna be the call to Karthus as well. So yeah, that was Viper playing really aggressively there, knowing that he was at risk with getting a Mumu Q'd and ulted. However, even though he's not necessarily like trying to deliberately get engaged on, it does give him a lot of room to play aggressively because he knows that even if he does get engaged on, it's kind of just like baiting them into taking a fight that they don't necessarily win if they're not actually able to lock down the Jinx there. They would have needed Rammus to immediately follow up on the engage onto Jinx, but he was just not in position to do that. Yeah, just gonna cancel Jinx's attack there. Oh shit. Also gonna get onto Thresh, but even if he kills Thresh here, I mean, that's not gonna be worth. That's another free kill for Jinx. Okay. How much gold? I assume, yeah, he can already finish the Renans in one go here, assuming that's what he's going for. Yes, he will. So actually, very worth noting, actually, I forgot to mention that he actually is going for the Renans instead of the Infinity Edge, third item. It's what most people would do here, but clearly values either the AoE or the wave clear here, for whatever reason. I will say that I think Renans is considered a lot better into melee comps. The more melee champions the enemy team has, the more chances your Renans has of doing some like significant AoE damage. So with the enemy team having 4 melee champions, I think that's probably, or definitely could be, an influence in him going for that. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe he just really likes Renans. I know a lot of Jinx players swear by the Renans. He'd be forced to go Lord Dominic second by the Rammus, but still wants his Renans. Ooh, I think he was counting on the Lantern there, but we'll have his team backing him up here. Staying out of the Mumu ult range again, however has to kind of run from Rammus here. Hey, just barely doesn't take down the Rammus, oh well. And nicely played for Kratos there, playing around the vision. Gonna cheese the Lee Sin. Okay, Jinx is going to be trying to clear out as many of his camps on this side of the map as he can get. Starting with the Raptors, I think he was able to just clear up some Raptors that the enemies took already. And then going for the red buff as well. He wants to try and take that because he knows it's kind of safe if he has the red trinket there. You should be able to see any enemies that try and go into the jungle to try and steal the red. And the Raptors. And the reason he's doing that at that timing is because the enemies had a really good time to actually go for a jungle camp steal there. So he wants to try and get those camps down as soon as possible and not give the enemies the chance to try and take that camp. Or those camps. The sooner he does it, the less chances they actually do that in time. They already took the Raptors, but yeah, he was just checking. Able to clear up that camp anyway and get that on cooldown for the Lee Sin, and then getting the red buff and make sure they don't have a chance to steal that either. Ooh, getting flanked by the Rammus here, but Thresh blocking like a champ. Lenses. Caught out. Okay. Oh, so Mumu didn't actually have ult there, but Viper assumed he did, so that's why he flashed there. It was kind of useless flash in hindsight, but Amumu just barely didn't ult. He needed to assume Amumu had ult up there. Ooh, gets taken down by probably an invisible Krathus ult again, I'm assuming. Either that or just the Krathus Q, I'm not sure. Okay, Malzahar gonna go down there. Okay, so looking like a rough game so far. Raven is not doing amazing, getting out impacted by the Darius right now. Lee Sin also definitely getting out jungled here by the 200 ping Prodigy on the Rammus. Malzahar's 2 and 8. But Viper's in a really good spot here. He's 9, 3 and 8. Got pretty much 9 saves per minute, a little bit over that. Super strong right now. Even you can see the Rammus is really strong, but he is able to melt the Rammus really fast. So definitely not a huge problem for the Jinx right now, but it is a bit of a rough game. It's just taking the small raptors there while Lee Sin does the camp. It's actually, you know, obviously it's usually better to give camps over to your jungler because they get more gold from it, and I think more XP from it. Definitely more XP from it, and I think more gold from it as well because they're jungle item. However, that only applies to the big jungle monster. The small monsters, they give the same amount of golden XP to everybody. So purely for the interest of having your ADC as strong as possible, it is actually optimal to just hand over the small things to your ADC if they're in a position to take them. Here's just gonna go for the full camp and not just only bother with the small ones, because if he doesn't farm that right now, then potentially nobody farms them for a while, since currently potentially 5 picking out on the top side. Definitely looking for a pick there at least. Okay, gonna be getting flanked by the Rammus again. Line turns out. First gonna be peeling him pretty successfully. Okay, Zed kinda useless there. Barely gets any damage on the Jinx off at all. Gonna be getting peeled too hard. Okay, looks like they'll be turning onto the Baron now. Rammus still up, but doesn't have ultimate to get in there, or Ghost. Gonna be positioned to the back of the pit, trying to stay safe as safe as possible while dealing damage. Only starts moving forwards again once he's confident the fight is going in a direction where he can step up there. And won't have to flash through the wall. Actually, he does not flash anyway. Okay, another invisible Krathus ult. Won't do much to deter them pushing though. Okay. Alright, gonna be a free kill there. Currently sitting on BF sword and pickaxe, so probably gonna be able to get an infinity edge the moment he backs. Oh, he's sitting on 3,000 gold, so definitely gonna be able to grab that. In fact, might look to back in a way here that he can actually pick up 2 items. Pretty close to it. Let's see what he does. Okay, he's gonna choose to back here. Gonna be able to grab at least Infinity Edge and then probably just components for whatever he builds next. Probably gonna be... Actually, I'm not sure. Could be GA. Could be Zeal for the Fire Cannon. Okay, gonna be BF Sword. Looked like it was taking a while to make up his mind there. So probably gonna be heading towards the GA, I imagine. Between the Rammus, the Zed, even the Darius and the Karthus, honestly. They have a comp that could really easily find a way to cheese this Jinx at some point. That GA could hopefully just save him in the middle of a team fight. Give him a second chance at getting out of there. Alright, able to catch out the Rammus there. Currently managing to sit at only 3 deaths at 25 minutes, so that's really impressive honestly against that comp. But there's only so much you can get away with surviving against a comp like this, so I think the J is definitely going to be pretty big for him. I think that is what he will go for. I'm tank up the turret. Doesn't mind taking that damage since he's got plenty left still anyway. Might as well just speed up taking the turret. Okay, pretty good rush on the Karthus there. Unfortunately, not able to pick up the kill, just barely. Maybe should have gone for the W instead of the R there. If they'd done it in the reverse order and both hit, then would have been a kill for sure. Ooh, gonna be a free pick of the Guitarist there for sure. Use that moon speed to try and chase down the Zed. Not gonna be able to find him though. Gotta watch out for the Zed shadow there, but I mean, I don't really think he's gonna be worried with his entire team there. Ooh, gonna get. Ooh, that was a really bad cleanse from him actually. He want. Okay, I see what he was going for actually. What he wanted to do there was immediately cleanse the Amumu Q and just flash out before Amumu could ult. Because CC changed so fast, as soon as he cleansed, he was already CC'd again. Just got completely locked down there, gets taken down. Actually, another thing that he could have considered this game for sure that I completely forgot about is Mercurial Scimitar. That could have also been an alternative to GA, I guess. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else he could really replace that with. But we'll go for the GA instead first. I assume Scimitar will be what he buys if he ever needs to sell the GA. We'll speed this up here. Oh. Okay, grab an elixir there. So already full build at 28 minutes. So he's sitting at 15 kills and almost 10 assists per minute. Notice that he's still choosing to take farm instead of just handing it over to his teammates, even while being full build. That breaks out. Okay, he gets taken down, but we'll revive with the GA, see what he can do with that. Gets to just flash out of there. Good shit. Gets taken down by the invisible Karthus ult. Leaves me very confused. Alright. Gonna be the Riven live. We'll speed this up. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, sorry. Despite being full build, still chooses to take a lot of farm because as you can see right now, he's sitting on his GA that's on cooldown. That's kind of useless. He would like to sell that at some point. Currently doesn't have the gold for that, I assume. Yeah, sitting only on 600 gold. But at some point, they would like to replace that whenever possible. So it's still very useful for him to just keep farming. And even with, especially with camps, he also still needs XP for the level 18. Would be pretty huge if he could get a level up. Level ups are really important, especially later on into the game, because the way level ups work in League of Legends, for whatever reason, is you get more stats from later level ups. You don't get as much like AD per level from earlier levels as you do later on. Scaling isn't linear these days, so yeah, if you can get that level 18, that'll be huge. Let's see, did that Drake? Yep, Drake goes over to red team there, so good for them. Plus the missile point. Oh, actually, I only just noticed he actually swapped out his Kraken Slayer for a Immortal Shield Bow. So that's actually very interesting because the Rammus obviously has so much armor. It's gonna be super tanky, and despite that, he still values the tankiness from Shield Bow more than the damage dealing from Kraken Slayer. So that just goes to show just like how hard of a comp that is to survive against. But even against the Rammus, he's still choosing to go for that shield bow. However, I will say, oh, hang on. Okay, finds the kill onto Rammus there. Gonna continue hiding beautifully here. Ooh, actually gets caught by the Mumu ult. Cleanses there purely just to keep dealing damage faster. Doesn't want to waste time waiting out that stun, even though he wasn't at risk. Ooh, okay, gonna be able to survive there. Beautiful. Yeah, cleanses that Mumu ult. Oh. Invisible Karthus ult. Yeah, cleanses that Amumu ult immediately just to keep dealing damage. It wasn't at risk at all, but still chooses to do that just for damage. Pretty smart. Oh, actually choosing to sell the GA for Wit's End. Makes sense. He is getting, you know, obviously getting hit by Karthus ult a few times. Kind of unavoidable. It will also help a lot against the Rammus as well. So actually it helps in two ways. So Rammus W and Rammus Thornmail, they deal a lot of damage onto you when you try and auto attack him. Reflects a lot of damage back onto you. So the MR from Wit's End will cut out a lot of that because it's all magic damage. The other thing is that Rammus builds a lot of armor, but not so much MR. So the magic damage you deal from Wit's End, which is like an insane amount late game, gonna be 79 damage right now. Gonna be, I think, what is it, 80 damage, 90 damage at level 18, something like that. Just a huge amount of on-hit magic damage, so it's gonna be a big damage source that the Rammus won't be able to block as much as he would be with physical damage. But yeah, so I would say actually that the shield bow scales better than Kraken Slayer anyway. I think ADCs are a lot less reliant on Kraken Slayer late game anyway. When you're full build ADC, suddenly there's a lot more value in just staying alive and letting your other 5 items do their thing, compared to when you're just 1 item ADC and the damage increase from Kraken Slayer is just like indispensable. So definitely needed the Kraken Slayer to deal with Rammus in the early to mid game, but I think now that he's a full build ADC, there's a lot more value in that shield bow to keep himself alive. I don't think that's just him regretting his Kraken Slayer choice. I think that's just okay, hang on, fight going on here. Okay, nice, able to dodge out the Z-Skull shots there. Gonna be a pick onto Rammus there. Clean traps to keep him from escaping. If he can chase down the others with his passive, won't be able to. Just gonna turn onto the Baron here instead. Yeah, so sorry, as I was saying, so the shield bow is not like him necessarily like changing his mind and thinking, oh shit, I should have gone shield bow instead of Kraken Slayer. No, I think Kraken Slayer did his job already, and now that he has all that gold, he can just swap out for a better late game choice. Okay, gonna be leaving the Baron early so I can start shoving this as soon as possible. Gonna go for the Gromp there as well. At this point, probably shouldn't be like too low on gold. I still got plenty of room to go for gold and swapping out items. And definitely also want to deny that from the new team as well. Like theoretically, if you were full XP, full gold, you would still want to take that Gromp there just to deny from the enemies. You could try and leave it for the Thresh, I guess, but it's like, not worth it. Just takes too long to make the Thresh get the last hit. As well just wipe that out as soon as possible and get out of there. And anyway, he still has plenty of gold to farm before he's actually like overcapped. So gonna go for that blue buff. Actually wants to take it over the Malzahar. He thinks his mana is more important than Malzahar's, and arguably it is the case. Rockets they are Jinx's strongest tool for team fighting by far. You almost never want to be using minigun. Okay, we'll be getting dived on by the Rammus here. Does get the peel from his teammates though. Good peel from his team. You can definitely notice already though the lower damage on the Rammus because he sold the Kraken Slayer. Oof. Okay, I think Karthus will just wipe out a shield bow. Ooh, trying to wipe out the Zed there before the Zed takes him down, but unfortunately Vision just really ruins that play for him. He's not able to find the Zed to auto attack him. So not going to be the greatest fight for red team here, and I think that also means they don't get the Drake, won't be able to get the soul. Rammus just trying to prevent the Lee from getting a chance to steal this, so yeah, just going to be a free Drake for blue team there. Yeah, I think we know what happens here. Skip forwards. Okay, so he's actually gone back to the Kraken Slayer. So I do think that what I was saying still holds true. Mortal Shield Bow is probably a better late game item generally. And if you have that gold to swap that out, it's pretty big. However, I think after he's seeing how little damage he dealt to the Rammus in the last team fight, probably still gonna want the Kraken Slayer, I guess. Keeping the Wit's End though. Still hasn't swapped that out for a GA again. I wonder if he's gonna choose to do that now, because he's backing for something. Yeah, has sold the Wit's End. Ooh, actually going for Maw of Malmortius. That's interesting. Nobody builds this anymore this season. It's considered a really bad item. Let me just check out his stats. 50 AD, 50 MR. So okay, so it wasn't even an option for him before because he had the shield bow. They share a passive, so that's why he couldn't build that before. But I don't know if you'd want this really. I mean, I guess he just wants it for the Kraut Assault. Well, he probably knows better than me. Gonna be also a lot less damage onto Rammus now though, since he doesn't have the MR from Wits End anymore. Also losing out on a lot of attack speed. Definitely in terms of like offensive stats, this is a lot worse. You get the I forgot how much AD Wits End actually gives. I think it's 40, so you only gain like 10 AD and you also lose a ton of attack speed as well as the on-hit passive. So this is like a purely defensive option. So he may have sold the shield bow, but he's definitely really trying to stay alive here. Also seems to value that MR over the defensiveness of GA. Because I think GA should be back up now. But the Goth is definitely very strong now. He's also full build. Be a great engage from Rammus there. Okay, this time he's patient with the cleanse. Only uses it after he gets hit by the Mumu ultimate. Waits out all the CC, then once it's all over, then he cleanses. Once it's all used, rather. Ooh, he can't auto attack anymore here. Or yeah, he took a lot of damage from Rammus W and forward mail there. Ooh, I thought he was gonna die immediately to the next auto. But doesn't get taken down until a little bit later. Looking a bit rough. Only 3 people alive on blue team. Actually, maybe it was Kraut Assault that I noticed that did so much damage. I don't know. It's really hard to say when you can't see the Kraut Assault. It's so annoying. Okay, Lee trying to keep them in the game here. It's taken down. Malzahar is going to be up in 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Let's see if we can do anything here. I think we should be able to defend. They're really low on HP and mana. Only Darius is remotely useful here. Okay, gonna be... Oh, Zed TP'd. Okay, ooh, this is tense, man. Come on, Malzahar, you can do it, baby. Takes down the Rammus. Okay, sets it all up for the Jinx ult. We're gonna wipe out the enemy team there. That is 4 deaths. They could potentially just try and look to end now. Also note that Jinx actually just sold his boots for multiple reminder. How much move speed does that leave him at? 371. That is really, really slow. But I mean, they don't even have that much healing, right? I don't know why you would go for that, actually. I don't think I would go for that personally, but I mean, I can't really say. We won't really get to see, I don't think, whether that actually pays off or not, because the game is just about to end anyway. Definitely gives them more damage, though. And will help them finish out a Spirit Chance. They're just gonna try and run past the Karthus passive there. Look to end. Yep, just gonna be a really easy end there. MVP Malzahar, I think. I think Malzahar will be 9 to his nobody carry here. Yeah, absolutely monstrous performance by Viper there. Let me just pull up the damage stats because I noticed from the OPGG that this was really notable. That's why I wanted to look at this game. Okay, so he ended the game with 89% co-participation. Second highest was 76% on Thresh. And his damage was 87,000. That was almost double the damage of his mid laner Malzahar, who had the second most damage in the team. Interestingly, actually, Karthus almost did the same damage as Viper. He did 81,000 damage, so only 6,000 damage less. So both Karthus and Jinx were absolutely huge there, and you can tell that from the KDAs as well. Karthus sitting there at 24, 9, and 12, absolutely massive. If they had managed to win, wouldn't have been an entirely 1v9 from Karthus there, because I think his team was doing better overall. But definitely put up a huge performance there. And super impressive from Gala to actually win that game, despite how rough a time his team was having. Right up until the end there when Malzahar finally redeemed himself. Yeah, 87,000 damage. Almost 100,000 damage. Mind blowing. and did a really good job of minimizing his deaths throughout the game. I'm surprised he even died like only 8 times. Only 8 times in 42 minutes against a comp like that. Incredible, man. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys were able to pick up some tips, learn a bit from Viper's gameplay. Hope you found my commentary a little bit helpful about why he does certain things, why we build certain things. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos of this content, more content of this kind in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, gamers.